Right. Hello, hello. So today, I can't turn my phone. All right, cool. So today, working on a sequence to deepen and strengthen our backbends. So if you have, I'd recommend 2 blocks. Don't necessarily need them, but feel free to keep them available. And my name is Gilbert. For those of you who there's a lot of you actually that I don't know, but I'm glad to be part of the community, and I'm glad that you're participating in this, and I hope you find it beneficial. Um, so when thinking about, I guess, strengthening back bends, there's a lot of tightness across the chest and in the triceps, and so trying to address those areas where you can get a deeper, fuller expression when it comes to wheel, or maybe prepping for wheel on your forearms, or even just a camel pose. And the big thing too that we want to avoid is any dumping in the low back. So just mindful of when the tailbone's really sticking out and maintaining a tuck. And so this way we're lifting first and trying to find the back bend higher up in our spine before taking it up and back without any collapsing here in our low back. And so to get started today, let's get started in let's start in a child's pose. And in your child's pose, just kind of settling into your mat, allowing your forehead to ground. And here begin to pay attention to your breathing. And just acknowledge how you're showing up. And so steady, slow and steady breaths in and out of your nose. Equal length inhales and exhales. And start to inch your fingertips away from you. And bring your palms to touch. And bring your thumbs to the nape of your neck. Maybe walk your elbows a little further away. So doing this variation in your child's pose to just get into your triceps. Starting to get into your armpits. And if you want to get really into it, you can use blocks here. And then just set the blocks underneath your elbows. And just a few more breaths, relaxing your spine, allowing your hips to be heavy. And if you want to make it more active, just pressing your chest towards the floor. And then go ahead and release. And then inch your fingertips away from you. Walk your hands up and over to the top right corner of your mat. So if you want left hand over the right, you can tense your fingertips. And now here I like to bring some movement into it. So if you want, roll your left shoulder down towards the floor and ribs up to the ceiling. And you're just moving with your breath. Inhale lifts, and then exhale lowers. And with your next breath in, back through center. And exhale over to the top left corner of your mat. And again, feel free to stay still. Maybe bring some movement to the pose, creating a little more space through your side body. And next breath in, back to center. As you breathe out, actively press into your palms, then inhale up into a tabletop. In cat pose, breathe out, chin to chest, and here round your spine. And hold this shape, and just bring some movement to it. Maybe rock in some circles, keeping your tailbone tucked, or maybe rock a little front to back. You're just noticing if some different spaces in your back open up. And try to press evenly here through both hands. Last exhale. And inhale to cow. Tailbone up, heart forward, and same thing, just gentle movements here. Maybe rocking front to back or again side to side. Now here, just being mindful of your low back. So we're thinking of strength in our spine, soften our bellies across our chest and opening our throats. And one more breath in. And puppy pose, breathe out. So hips stay over your knees. And now puppy pose, if you want to make it active, you can, or passive, you can just keep your palms down and reach your chest towards the floor. Maybe take your gaze towards your hands. Maybe your chin grounds. Maybe it's your forehead or your nose. If you want to make it more active, come onto the pinky side edges of your hands so your palms face one another. And then find a slight tuck here in your tailbone. And actively press your chest still towards the floor. And notice this variation a lot more in my triceps and my armpits and across my chest. And I just notice my core fire up when I tuck my tailbone. Staying through one more breath out. Inhale to tabletop. And now just doing a little movement here through our shoulders. Ground firmly through your hands. Now protract as you breathe in, lift your back. And exhale, retract. Lower your chest between your arms and hug your scapulae into one another. And inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. And exhale, lower. One more time. Inhale, lift. And lower. Now cow as you breathe in. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. And then exhale, send your hips to your heels. Inhale, walk your hands further away from you. Plant your palms. Next breath in, pull forward to a modified plank. So the difference here, tabletop, hips are over your knees. Modified plank, hips slightly in front of your knees. Press the tops of your feet into the floor. And then here, protract your shoulders so your core fires up. And this is a little warm-up that I like to do just to get people prepped for up dogs and chaturangas, and also just introduces the movements from a more accessible variation, keeping your knees on the mat. And take a breath in. Exhale, hips to heels. Inhale, modified plank. And exhale, lower to your chest. Keep your hands where they are, tops of your feet down, and inhale, low cobra. So now actively, again, tops of your feet into the mat. Engage your quads, so maybe your knees lift. And slight tuck here in your tailbone, squeeze your glutes so your hips press down. And now you're lengthening your spine as your heart reaches forward and up. And gazing down the tip of your nose, light here in your hands. Take a breath in, lower down, breathe out. We'll do that twice more. Inhale, low cobra. And exhale, lower down. Inhale, low cobra. And this time lower. Keep your chin on the mat. Now bring your hands by your side, palms down, and you're pressing down and away, shifting your weight towards your shoulders and extending out through the crown of your head. Relax your left leg completely and lift just your right leg. Now one option is just to hold the pose like this. This way we're working strong through our legs and the back side of our body. If you want to make it more dynamic, tapping your toes and lift, and you can do that for 5, 4, 3, press into your palms, 2, and 1. Relax your right leg. Now extend out through your left toes. Lift your left leg. Again, so the entire back side of your body's working. Palms press down. Feel free to stay here. If you want to make it dynamic, lift and lower for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and ground. Hands under your shoulders. Modified plank. Press up. Now exhale, hips to heels. Inhale, modified plank. Exhale, hips to heels. Inhale, modified plank. And exhale, modified chaturanga. Elbows over your wrist, arms tight to your side, shoulders away from your ears, slight tuck in your tailbone. Inhale, modified plank. And exhale, hips to heels. Inhale, modified plank. And exhale all the way down to your chest. Now if you want to stay in low cobra, inhale to low cobra. If you want to take it to high cobra, start with your low cobra. Now use your hands to support it. So giving yourself a little more space. And still tucking your tailbone, still pressing the tops of your feet down. Legs active, breathe in. Lower down, breathe out. We'll do that twice more. Inhale, high cobra. And exhale, lower down. Last time, inhale, high cobra. And exhale, lower down. Now chin on the mat. Hands by your sides, palms down. Again, arms tight to your body. So here, this is a locust variation, just making it more accessible. Reaching out through your toes, legs zip tight. Now lift both legs and press into your hands again. Shift your weight forward. Feel free to stay here. If you want, you can lift and lower for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hands underneath your shoulders. And inhale to modified plank. Tuck your toes. Exhale, send your hips to heels. Now plank pose as you breathe in. So again, option to keep your knees on the mat if you want to modify. Otherwise, exhale, hover knees, hips to heels. Now firing up your core, strong and more active in your arms. And inhale, forward to plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, plank. Exhale, hover knees, hips to heels. Inhale, plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Come onto the tops of your feet. Inhale to up dog. Back to chaturanga. Stay on the tops of your feet. Inhale, up dog. And exhale, chaturanga. Last time, up dog, breathe in. Lower to your chest, breathe out. Arms to your sides, palms down. Now locust pose, inhale, lift your chest, lift your arms, lift your legs. So everything comes up, strong through the back side of your body. Reach through your toes, reach through the crown of your head, reach through your fingertips. Now bring your hands out to the side and open your palms to the front. Lift your arms as high as you can. Now bring your arms out in front of you, palms face one another. Thumbs up to the ceiling. Can you lift a little higher? Hold here. 5, 4, 3, 2, and ground. Hands under your shoulders. Inhale to modified plank. Tuck your toes and exhale, send your hips to heels. Then down dog, lift your hips. And bring some movement to your down dog. Bend one knee, straighten the other leg. And press your belly towards your thighs. And take one more breath in. Now dolphin, breathe out, lower your forearms to the floor. And taking a few breaths in your dolphin pose, still lifting your hips, still pressing your belly towards your thighs. Gaze can be between your forearms. Gaze can be back towards your ankles. And last breath out. Then down dog, breathe in. And stay through an exhale. Inhale your right leg up. Now bring your knee to your nose as you breathe out. And keep a slight tuck here in your tailbone. Now lift your chest, lift your gaze, and scorpion. So now if this feels like too much, feel free to lower your left knee down to the mat. And then back, knee to nose. And flex your foot, step between your hands. Ground your left knee, untuck your left toes. And bring some movement to your lunge. Straighten your front leg. Rock your hips front to back. And last breath out. And crescent moon, breathe in. So right knee over your right ankle. Square hips, lifted chest. And strong here. So actively press the top of your left foot into the floor and your left shin. So starting with your strong foundation, and working your way through your legs, through your hips, slight tuck here in your tailbone, and feel the lift in your chest. And now look up towards your hands. And can you pull your thumbs back just a little further? Let your gaze follow. And one more inhale. Now back bend, cactus your arms on the exhale. And keep pressing your hips down and forward. Continue to lift your chest. Inhale, crescent moon. And exhale, half split. Sweep your arms back. Keep your chest lifted. Hug your scapula into one another. Now, if this doesn't feel good, feel free to keep your hands on the floor. Yep. And then flexing your right toes. Maybe keep a soft micro bend here in your right knee so we're not overextending your hamstring. And inhale, crescent moon. Exhale, back bend. Inhale, crescent moon. Now exhale, half split. And inhale to a low lunge. Tuck your back toes. Now exhale, step to plank. Lower chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. And exhale, down dog. And inhale your left leg up. And exhale, knee to nose. Shoulders stay over your wrists, like tucking your tailbone. Now scorpion, think of cow here. in your heart. And exhale, knee to nose, land in your lunge. Ground your right knee, untuck your toes. And gently rock front to back, feel it out. Last breath out. And crescent moon on the inhale. So again, strong here in your foundation. Take your left foot as far in front of you as you need. Keep the ankle below the knee. And square hips, lifted chest. Strong in your base, and start to reach up and look up. Your core is supported on the inhale, so everything squeezes in nice and tight. And take your arms back without dumping into your low spine. Now back bend as you cactus your arms on the exhale. Stay for a breath in and out. Inhale, crescent moon. And half split on your exhale. Hands to the floor, sweep them back, airplane arms, shoulders in. Flex foot. Inhale, crescent moon. And exhale, back bend. Inhale, crescent moon. Exhale, half split. Inhale, low lunge, tuck your back toes. Exhale, step to plank and lower chaturanga. Up dog, breathe in. And exhale to down dog. And inhale. And exhale. And inhale to plank. Exhale, hover knees, hips to heels. Now step or jump, however you want to get to the top of your mat. Halfway lift, breathe in. And exhale, fold. Inhale to a mountain pose. And from your mountain pose, internally rotate your right hand. And then bring your right hand to your right shoulder. Left hand to the top of your right elbow. Now here, without crunching up by your neck, your tailbone stays tucked. Now think of lifting your elbow towards the ceiling. Now up and back. Breathing here for 3. We'll switch sides in 2. And 1. Inhale, take it up. And as you exhale, internal rotation at your left hand, then bring it down to your shoulder. So think elbow. So you're stacking your elbow over your shoulder and your arm's not spinning, splaying. It's not going out. And then right hand over the elbow. Again, just helping yourself lift. And notice if your chest wants to pop up. So even here, you're keeping your tailbone tucked and you're thinking of engaging your core, so your low ribs to your hip points. And here for 3, and 2, and release. Inhale, hands up. Then bring your hands together and bring your arms down through heart center with your forearms and elbows together. So now your back is open. And now inhale, reach up. And back bend, cactus your arms. Inhale, reach up, mountain pose. Exhale, forward fold. And halfway lift, breathe in. And crouch and curl, breathe out. So fingertips to the floor, hips to your heels, forward to your knees. So here, taking your spine in the opposite direction for a moment. And one more breath in. Exhale, ground your heels. Inhale, halfway lift, long spine, weight to your toes, and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, mountain pose. This time, bring your palms together. Actually, don't worry about bringing your palms together. Just look straight up. So still tucking your tailbone. Now without popping your chest up, if you can take your gaze back and then start to reach your arms back. Yep, continue to lift. And then take your thumbs back. And bring your hands together. Now bring your forearms and elbows together. Now keeping them closer towards your face. As you breathe in, start to lift your chest. Start to lift your gaze. And slowly take your gaze back. Keep your arms closer towards your face and reach as far as is comfortable without dumping in your low spine. Your heart still going up towards the ceiling first. Before going back, take one more breath in. Exhale, come back down, elbows to navel. And inhale, reach up. And exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift, breathe in. And crouch and curl, breathe out. And inhale. And exhale. And breathe in and out. Ground your heels. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, mountain pose. Bring your hands together. And exhale, elbows to navel. Now interlace your fingers, taking a steeple grip. And now reaching your fingertips down to the floor. External rotation here in your arms. So your scapula is open. Your core is engaged. Weight here in your heels. And now start to breathe in and lift your chest. And as you lift your chest, now start to take your gaze straight up. And let your fingertips reach up towards the ceiling. Now you can stay right here. If you want to take this further, keep lifting first. All right? And now let your gaze go back and let your fingertips follow. You're finding a standing back bend. We'll breathe for 7 and 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Inhale, rise. And then exhale, slowly forward fold. And halfway lift, breathe in. And crouch and curl, breathe out. Giving yourself a moment to take your spine in the opposite direction. Now lean forward, bring some weight into your hands and lift your hips. Step back to plank and lower chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. And inhale your right heel to the sky. And exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, low lunge. Crescent lunge, breathe in. And settle into it as you breathe out. And ground firmly here. Take another breath in. And then exhale, back bend, cactus your arms. Now lean forward and reach forward with your inhale. Biceps by your ears. Thumbs up to the ceiling. And exhale, archer, left knee hovers, right elbow back, left fist reaches forward. So I like this twisting variation because it relies more on core strength. Yeah, and this way we're not forcing any leverage on anything, but just using our right arms pulling back, left arms reaching forward, hips and heart stay, or hips to the front, hearts opening to the side. And flip your left hand and exalted. Take your left hand up to the ceiling. And stay low. Take one more breath in. And warrior two, breathe out. Shoulders over your hips. Reaching wide, fingertip to fingertip. And looking over your right hand, go ahead and flip it. And inhale, reverse triangle. And exhale, side angle pose. You can take your gaze up towards your left hand. Strong here in your legs. Press down, squeeze in. Reach your arms from floor to ceiling. One more exhale. Inhale, reverse triangle. Now exhale, low lunge. Now inhale to plank and hover your right foot. Now keep your left hand just as it is, so not going to do anything here to rotate or move your hand. Roll to the outside of your left foot. Plant your right foot behind you. Now ground your left leg. This is just an easier transition to make flip dog more accessible. Ground down through both feet. Now lift your hips and reach your right arm overhead. And hold and breathe here for 5, and 4, 3, 2. Exhale, bring it down. Ground your hips, straighten your left leg, and inhale back to plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale your left leg up. I don't remember if we did a knee to nose, but we're going to do a knee to nose. Knee to nose. And kick it back up. Step between your hands. Inhale to your crescent lunge, strong here in your base. Yeah, so starting with your foundation, and then from there, find some lift. And with your exhales, find some depth. If you need to adjust, make whatever little adjustments you need. You can take a gaze to your hands, breathe in, exhale, cactus your arms. Lean forward, reach forward, inhale, extend. Thumbs up to the ceiling, and now archer, this time left elbow back. Right knee hovers, right fist forward. So looking here for the twist across your chest and strengthening your core. And flip your right hand. Now exalted, straighten your back leg. Reach your right hand up to the ceiling. You can bring your left hand to your hip or reach down your right leg. And take this breath in. Warrior two on your exhale. Right heel spins to the floor, shoulders over your hips, reach wide. And continue to extend. Now flip your left hand. Inhale, reverse triangle. And exhale, side angle pose. Left elbow to your left knee. Right arm to the ceiling. We didn't do it on the other side, but a variation that I'd like to incorporate in class is just opening your palms to the front and then bringing your arms overhead. So this allows people to get a little deeper, to focus on their legs and their core strength. So just another variation, and stay through your breath out. Inhale, reverse triangle. And exhale, low lunge. Same transition here. Step back to plank and hover your left foot. Plant your right hand, roll to the outside of your right foot. So if you want to stay in a flip or wild thing, just keep your right leg straight. Otherwise, flip dog, both knees bend. Toes point away from you, and then inhale, lift your hips. And breathe for 5, 4, 3, last 2. Exhale, hips down, straighten your right leg, and inhale back to plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Up dog, breathe in. Go ahead and ground your knees, and take a seat on your heels as you breathe out. And give yourself a moment here. Cycle through your breath. Notice your heartbeat. And from here, go ahead and sit up tall and externally rotate your hands. Plant your fingertips behind you. Hug your shoulders in. Tuck your tailbone. Notice if you start to feel a quad stretch, and you can stay here. You start to squeeze your glutes, lift your hips, lift your chest. This is a good spot too for blocks if you'd like to use blocks underneath your hands or in between your thighs. And breathe for 3, breathe for 2, and 1. Exhale, bring it back down. And inhale your hands out in front of you. Exhale, cats. Inhale, cow. Press your hips to your heels. And inhale, plank, tuck your toes. Exhale, down dog. And inhale your right leg up. And exhale, step between your hands. Ground your left knee. Untuck your left toes. And inhale, come up into your crescent moon again. And this time bring your palms together. Interlace your fingers. Press your hips down and forward. Now here, looking for your back bend. Continue to lift up. And then slowly gaze up and back. Keep squeezing your left glute, strong here in your legs. Lift and reach, hold and breathe for 5, 4, 3, 2. Slowly come up, then half split. Feeling this out, then shift forward. Tuck your back toes. We'll just go to a 3-legged dog. And down dog. And left leg up. And step between your hands. Ground your right knee. Untuck your right toes. Crescent moon and pause. Now if this variation doesn't feel good, you can just keep your hands together, reach up and back, or feel free to cactus your arms. Sending your hips down and forward. Still tucking your back tailbone, so we're lengthening our spine. Gaze is going to guide you. Fingertips are going to follow. And breathe here. 7 and 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Rise up. And then half split. And shift forward, tuck your back toes. 3-legged dog. And exhale, down dog. Inhale to plank, ground your knees. And exhale, take a seat on your heels. Now coming into a camel. Option, block between your thighs. Just to give you something to squeeze against. Option, you can even bring your hands behind your back. keeping them by your side. Always feel free to tuck your toes. So a couple options here. You can keep the blocks behind you if you want to use that. If you feel comfortable bringing your hands to your heels, feel free to do that. Hands at your low back is always a great option. Again, you can just stay looking straight up to the ceiling. If you want to try something else, block between your thighs, retake your steeple grip. Feel it tuck in your tailbone, start to lift your chest, look straight up, and then take your fingertips straight up. This can be your camel. If you want to move further, keep lifting, keep squeezing. Let your gaze guide you. Lift out of your heart and reach your fingertips up and back. Hold and breathe for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Inhale, rise. And exhale, take a seat on your heels. And take a breath in. Bring your hands by your sides, palms up. And exhale, slowly bring your belly to your thighs, crown of your forehead to the floor or a block. And let your spine relax. Feel free to stay here, or else we're going to take it to a rabbit pose. From your rabbit, rotation's this, external rotation. External rotation. Bring your hands this way. You're cupping your heels. Thumbs to the outside of your ankles, heels in your palms, fingertips in your heels. And tuck your chin to chest. Bring your forehead towards your knees. So really strong and active in your arms. Start to squeeze your navel to spine. If your forehead can't touch your knees, just stay here. If it does, start to lift your hips. Let the crown of your head touch the floor. It's supporting little to no weight. It's just there to ground you as opposed to bearing anything. Hips towards the ceiling. Now open your scapula, open your back, active in your arms for 5, 4, 3, 2. Slowly lower your hips. Keep your chin tucked. And everyone meet in a seat on our heels. And we're going to take 2 more back bends, a bridge and a wheel. And go ahead and roll onto your back. Just swinging your legs out in front of you. Now, if you want to just take a supported bridge, feel free to use your block. Set it underneath your sacrum. You can stay there the whole time. If you want to do 2 bridges, do 2 bridges. If you want 2 wheels, go ahead and take 2 wheels. So coming into your bridge, heels close to your glutes, shoulders on the mat, hands by your sides, palms down, chin tucked, and press into your feet. And start to tuck your tailbone, lift 1 vertebra at a time. Actively press into your palms. This is a good spot too for a block. If you want to use a block between your legs to just help keep your legs more active. Again, if you want a supported bridge, just block underneath your sacrum. You can just relax here, let go of any tension in your low back. But here, bringing your sternum towards your chin. Hold and breathe. For 3, 2. Slowly lower 1 vertebra at a time. And cycle through your breath 3 times. So I'll cue for a wheel. While you're cycling through your breath, I'll just explain some options here. Options, if you're close to wheel and you can't quite get like a full expression across your chest or lift yourself up, one thing that I'd recommend is maybe trying it with blocks. So you'd set the blocks up by your shoulders, palms on the edge of your block. So the big thing is you want to make sure you're pressing straight down so the blocks frame your head. And from there, we'll lift up. Otherwise, you can even bring your blocks underneath your feet. Same thing, big thing is we want to press straight down. Otherwise, we don't want our blocks like sliding away from us. Feel free to move close to a wall. So that way these can be right up against the wall. That way they won't go anywhere. But now for your wheel pose, ground down at your feet, heels close to your body. Start to lift your hips. Press into your palms. Press straight down. Lift straight up. No dumping in your low back. Hold here and breathe. Think navel to the ceiling. Press your chest to whatever's in front of you. Hold here for 7. Breathe here for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Tuck your chin. Slowly lower down. And bring the bottoms of your feet together. And knees wide, hand to your belly, hand to your heart. Allow yourself to just feel. And taking a couple breaths here. And bring your knees and thighs together. And hands to the tops of your knees. Gently rock a little side to side. And hands behind your thighs. And gently rock a little front to back. Make your way to a seat. Now send your right foot out and bring your left foot against your inner right thigh. Shoulders over your hips, and now interlace your fingers overhead. So down to the webbing of your hands. Bend your right knee. Bring your forehead to meet it. And slide your hands under the ball mound of your foot. And you can stay here. Big thing is the connection of forehead to knees. This way we're rounding our spine. We've been doing a lot of opening. Then slide your heel as far away from you as you need to, while still maintaining connection here of your forehead to knee. And still squeezing navel to spine. And allowing the backside of your entire body to open. And release. We'll take it to a stargazer. Now bring your left hand behind you. Ground through your left shin. And inhale, lift your hips. Reach your right arm up and back. And exhale, bring it down. We'll take this to pigeon. And just sweep your right foot behind you. Ground your shins. Lift your chest. Now if you want to make your pigeon more active, see if you can find a little lightness here in your hips. You're grounding through your left shin and your back leg. Chest stays lifted. Now you can stay here. You can take a back bend here and cactus your arms. Otherwise, if you just want a sleeping pigeon, slowly bring your chest towards the floor. Again, good spot for a block here underneath your left hip, underneath your forehead, underneath your chest. Just 5 breaths. Last exhale. Go ahead and lean over your left hip. And sweep your right foot out in front of you. We'll switch sides. Left foot out, right foot against your inner thigh. Again, ground evenly here through both sit bones. Bend your left knee as much as you need. Interlace fingers, reach high, forehead to knee. Hands under the ball mound of your foot. And from here, feel free to extend or find your depth. Last exhale and release. Inhale, sit up. And then plant your right hand behind you. And then breathe into your Stargazer pose. Lift your hips. Reach up and back. And then exhale, bring it down. And Pigeon Pose to the side. Sweep your left foot behind you. And square your hips. Lift your heart. Again, option to make it a little more active. You can keep the blocks here by your sides. With hands on your hips, maybe find a back bend. Otherwise, just take it to a sleeping pigeon. And you've got 5 breaths here. And slowly let it go. Roll over your right hip and swing both feet out in front of you. Make sure your heels line up with the edge of your mat. Maybe keep a block by your side. And slowly lower all the way to your back. Bring your heels to your glutes, lift your hips, and set the block underneath on the lowest setting. Unsupported waterfall, heels up. Hands by your sides. Upper torso heavy. Last breath in. Go ahead and plant your feet as you breathe out. Lift your hips so you can remove the block. And take a full body stretch. Reach through your toes, reach through your fingertips. And cactus your arms. And take your feet about max width distance. And let your knees and thighs fall into one another, fall in bridge. You're grounding as much of your spine as is possible. Just let it be heavy on the mat. And take one more breath in. And exhale, twist to the right. So keep your feet just as they are. So left knee will end up by your right ankle. Maybe take your chin to your left shoulder. And back up to center. And exhale to the left. Maybe look to the right. And as you're ready, inhale to center. And stay for a breath out. One more breath in. And exhale, full wind removing pose. So here, grounding as much of your spine as you can, from your tailbone, through your sacrum, through the back of your neck. Shoulders pull to the floor. Thighs pull tighter towards your body. If you can, maybe clasp your hands. Now bring your forehead up to meet your knees. Wrap into a little ball. Squeeze tight for 3, 2. Exhale to Savasana. Allow your body to be heavy and relaxed. Allow your breath to be light and effortless. Noticing what you notice, feel what you feel, and let it all move through you. Allow yourself to receive, and allow yourself to let go. And feel free to stay in your Savasana as long as you need. Otherwise, thank you so much for sharing your time, for sharing your effort, for being open to just learning something new, for trying something different, for seeing a different perspective on how to do something that maybe you're familiar with. And it's always a pleasure, and it's been such an honor. And if you have any questions or comments, feel free to just leave them on the video, and I'll get back to them. But it's always a pleasure. Thank you all so much, and I hope you have a great July 6th. Take care.